Welcome back to my channel Automation Hub Sathak, and in today's video I'll tell you about thread.sleep and when we are supposed to use it and when we are not. I'll tell you how the industry actually works with thread.sleep. So in this wait conditions package, let me go and make a class. The class name we'll give is thread.sleep. Okay. So let me quickly write our basic lines of code without further delay. Okay, so we'll write this WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver dot setup. Driver is equal to new Chrome driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. See, we are just gonna do the same thing which we have done so far. So what I'll do is I'll pick up all these things, all the areas which we need. So first we are clicking on the sign in link. I'll just show you the manual workaround. First we have to click on sign in link. We have to open rediff.com, enter username, enter password, click on sign in button, and then once we enter inside the inbox page, we'll log out. This is the basic scenario which we have been doing for quite some time now. So the code is always ready. So I'm just gonna pick up the same. Okay, then we'll use thread.sleep. Even though I explained the same in my previous video, but I will explain it thoroughly, why we are doing this and why do we need this and why do we need to know this particular part. Okay, so we have all that we need. Okay, so I'm closing this class. So this, if you run this program, it will anyways work. Sometimes it will work, sometimes at this point timeout exception will happen, but anyways. So what I'll do is, let's say for example, at each and every stage, just before each and every stage, I will introduce thread.sleep. See carefully guys, here we have a long argument, and also you can give another integer argument as well. Okay, so if I go for this integer argument, so I will give here, let's say 2000, and here I'll give 200. So I'll use this, should work again. See, the fact here is this long argument is actually in the form of milliseconds, which we generally use. This we can use in nanoseconds. Nanoseconds is 10 to the power minus 9 of a second. Okay, it's nano, 10 to the power minus 9. Okay, so this is how we will use it. Now we'll mostly stick to this. Okay, I don't want to use that and confuse you, but you can use this also, not a problem. This means that you have 2000 milliseconds and 200 nanoseconds, and that's it. But rather we'll stick to what we use. I'm just, for example, I'm showing this. So let's say for example, for each and every web element I am applying a wait condition. I did not do this, but just to showcase why is thread.sleep, even though industry and pundits say that we should not use, they do not tell you the exact reality. Today I'll tell you the reality. So what I'll do is I'll run this program, and of course when you run this particular program using thread.sleep at each and every web element which Selenium is trying to identify, of course we have given at least 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. So at each and every stage of execution of identification of that particular web element by Selenium, it will wait for that much amount of time. See, it will wait for some time and then click on sign in. It will wait, and after 2 seconds it will enter username. Now it will wait, after 2 seconds it will enter password. It will wait, after 2 seconds it is going to click on sign in. Once it is inside inbox page, it will wait, and after 2 seconds it will click on logout. But if you would have done it in a very common and faster way, it would have, done pretty fast. But the thing is, what happened here? This script lagged by how many seconds? Here we had almost 2 seconds. Okay, here the same thing. We are elongating our script by these many seconds by introducing thread.sleep. So total how many seconds? 8, 10 seconds. This script has become extended. The duration of this script has extended because of this, and that is why I told you that you rather use implicitly wait and explicitly wait for and WebDriver wait in explicitly wait, and do not use thread.sleep, because thread.sleep, what will happen is Selenium will by default use the total amount of time. It's let's say for example you make it 5000, so then this thing will become 5 seconds, 5 seconds and 200 nanoseconds or whatever. So in such scenarios, what will happen is Selenium will wait for the whatever specified amount of time that you have mentioned. That means using thread.sleep just extends or elongates your execution time. Okay, but there is something which is inevitable. You will have to use thread.sleep. And when does this actually happen in our industry? There are various reasons why this has to happen. Now I'll just give you certain example. The first way, let's say the question is when we should use thread.sleep. So this is the question. Everyone will say that do not use thread.sleep, but people do not answer why. Even if we all say not to use, why do we still use it? There must be certain reasons why. So let me tell you the reasons today. So the reasons are, no one will tell you all these reasons. You will not find online anywhere, because this is typically when you actually work and wherein you are in a situation wherein you have to deliver, and then Selenium knows how to manage certain things using thread.sleep. So you will have to know how Selenium responds for certain particular wait condition, and thread.sleep is one of them. So what happens is, sometimes when none of the wait conditions are working, okay, none of the wait conditions are working, like implicit is not working, implicit waits not working, for in explicit wait, WebDriver wait is not working. Sometimes when these two are not working, thread.sleep funnily works, so you tend to use it. See, there is no concrete reason why thread.sleep works when the others do not. It just does. Sometimes it does. I'm using the words sometimes. So, but it somehow miraculously does. And let's say, for example, when you're running your Jenkins jobs, okay, we'll learn Jenkins thoroughly. When you're running Jenkins jobs, what happens is, if you check, the output reports, sometimes they fail, and the reasons of failure is timeout exception. And so what happens is, thread.sleep fixes this much efficiently than implicitly wait or WebDriver wait. So in these situations, somehow thread.sleep becomes more effective. And I'll tell you one thing, thread.sleep is actually much more powerful than implicitly wait and WebDriver wait. People tend to disagree, but this is true. Okay. Now, next thing is, what are the other instances when we tend to use this during a crunched timeline deliverable? So what happens is, let's say for example, we are delivering to UAT server. Okay, we are moving it to UAT. So what happens is, BAs and BAs are waiting for test outputs so that they can do the UAT testing thoroughly from their end. So, and they want it as soon as possible, because see, when you're working in a sprint, obviously you have very crunch time, even they have crunch time. So let's say for example, on the 12th day, they have 11th day or 12th day for a whole sprint of 2 weeks, they are doing this particular UAT testing and qualifying everything to move into production by the 13th day or the 14th day. So at that point of time, if all these things are encountered, so what generally happens is, uh, like, you have to make sure that all the scripts are passing. You cannot give BAs the output unless all the tests are passing, or certain workarounds. So by default, sometimes thread.sleep helps in getting these things done. So in this situation, you cannot escape. The I'll not say the final way, but somehow in our industry there is a word known as kaam chalao. So this is when thread.sleep comes into picture. So what happens is, it is like a way of running scripts and ignoring or deprioritizing the timeout exceptions. So we sometimes what happens is, we are in a rush, we have to do it, so we use this. That is when this is when thread.sleep is really handy. See, these are industry truths. Some might be not very useful, and some might be a lot of critic to my statements, but this is actually true. Now there is one more thing. If for the same scenario manual testing is working fine and automation scripts are failing because of timeout issues, use thread.sleep and get it to work and promote the build. So somehow this is the actual truth. This is when we have to use thread.sleep. These are the times when you actually need to use. We all know why not to use. We all know because of this. But this is the reason why we sometimes cannot escape. I hope you like this session, and please forward this to as many friends as you want. And sometimes if in interview they ask you these questions, please don't get perturbed, because the person who is asking these interview questions to you, why we should use thread.sleep and all that, and if he says that you should not use and he cannot explain why, that means he's bluffing. So thread.sleep is extremely powerful, extremely powerful. Okay. Anyways, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Sarthak here, signing off. Please wait for my next video.